Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about budget home theater and how I put together this system for under $200. Let's do it. Alright, to start off, here's a quick breakdown of the room. It's 21 by 16 with 10-foot ceilings, carpeted floors, a bank of windows on one end, and two large openings that lead out to other rooms. It's basically a big echo chamber. It's not ideal for sound quality, but we work with what we've got. For my main speakers, I'm using these Sony K90 ED towers that I found at the Goodwill for $50. I'm really happy with these speakers. They sound great, they look good, and the best part is they fit in the budget. Now moving on, I have a Infinity CC2 center channel that I also found at the Goodwill for just 20 bucks. Now one thing that really impressed me with this little speaker is just how well it handled dialogue. And to me, that's one of the most important things to consider when looking for a really good sounding center channel. For the rear surrounds, I'm using a pair of Sony bookshelf speakers that I also purchased from the Goodwill for an extreme budget price of just $10. So, you know, they're small, but they actually sound really good. And honestly, they're plenty good enough for rear channels. And finally, just to add a little extra bass to the system, I bought this Denon 8-inch subwoofer from the Goodwill for $10. I know we're starting a theme here with the Goodwill, but you really can find some great deals there. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for the budget speakers. Now we're going to get into the components. We're going to start with the Yamaha receiver that I bought secondhand for $40. It's pretty much all you need for up to a 7.2 system. It's 95 watts per channel, and it has something that I consider to be a must-have when you buy a receiver, and that's pre-outs. This gives you the option later down the road to add external amps, because honestly, the amps they put in these receivers just aren't that good. And next, I want to talk about what I think is one of my best secondhand finds, and that's this Sony Ubp X800. It's a 4K Blu-ray player. It has two HDMI outputs, one for video, one for audio, and this was really important to me because I have an older receiver here that doesn't do 4K pass-through, and I have a newer TV that accepts 4K. So I was able to run my audio to the receiver and a 4K signal out to my TV. So it worked out great for me. And the reason I think it's one of my best finds is I actually bought this off of eBay for $35. It was originally listed as not working. I went ahead and bought it. My son and I tore it apart, and we found a small little spring in the disk drive. It was obviously not supposed to be there. So anyway, we put it back together, and the thing has worked perfectly ever since. So that's why this is one of my best finds ever. Now, I'm also going to be making a video of how we disassembled and repaired this player. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Now, if you want to lower your budget even more than the Sony player I just mentioned, a good alternative would be a PlayStation 3 like the one we have here. It was only $5 at the Goodwill. The biggest downside to this is you lose the ability to play 4K content. If you're okay with that, it's still a really good streaming device, and as a bonus you can play games on it, so it's a really good option. Alright, so up to this point, everything I've talked about comes to a grand total of $170. That's pretty much all you need to get started with a good budget surround sound system. And honestly, this sounds like something you could easily spend $1,000 to $2,000 on. It sounds that good. I was completely happy with the way the system came together and performed, but one of the beautiful things about buying used and inexpensive is it doesn't really hurt when you upgrade. For example, when you only pay $20 for a center channel and later down the road you find an awesome deal, let's say from Craigslist, for a higher end center channel, it's no big deal. You can either throw that in the closet or you can try to sell it, but either way, you're only out 20 bucks. It's not that big of a deal. And that's exactly what happened in my case. I found a great deal for 5 Vandersteen speakers on Craigslist, 3 of which I'm using right here in my living room home theater. The main reason I bought that package is because I wanted the towers for my main home theater. Now, I didn't do the upgrade out of necessity, it pretty much just fell in my lap, but I'm a lover of Vandersteen speakers, and any chance I get to replace other brands, I am going to do it. Okay, so you may be wondering why I haven't mentioned my TV. The reason why is I bought this 4 years ago. I paid pretty much the going price at the time, and with the price differences of TVs today, it's really not worth mentioning. Now, if you're anything like me, no home theater is complete, even a budget home theater, without including some smart switches and RGB lighting. I've chosen to go with a combination of Treatlife switches and singlet RGB bulbs. This has allowed me to control all of my lighting and my overhead fan just with the Echo Dot. So that pretty much covers my budget living room home theater, and I hope I shed some light on the fact that you really don't have to spend thousands of dollars to get started in home theater. And naturally, as you add more to it, the price is going to go up. But if you continue to buy used equipment, it makes a lot of sense, and it's something that I will continue to do from now on. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.